Moving up and down again, there's no discharge in the war. There's no discharge in the war.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Shepherd's Pie. I'm David.
And I'm Tommy.
Man, Tommy, these fucking
What's up, bro?
celebrities, these pedophiles, these elites, these fucking sickos, we're behind. Everything we fucking say, it comes out just before we say it. But we're so behind.
A lot of we're basing a lot of what we put together off of the work of a lot of other people too. In this space, I mean, there's a lot out there on it, and a lot of it gets like recirculated. It's weird how it goes dormant for a while. There's something else that takes the spotlight, takes people's attention, and then something prompts or triggers a resurgence in people finding this information, getting upset about it, and propagating it, and coming to different conclusions, and even looking into it. Like trying to find other sources for what they're doing with this stuff. This topic, by the way, hyper dark, hyper draining. Even just doing the research for this is like soul eating. If you don't have any armor, looking into this type of stuff is truly this is the deep dark. This is where rubber meets the
road,
the lava.
the lava. We're talking Hollyweird part 2 today, but it's gonna get off the rails because we're trying to like keep it Hollywood, but really it just this sort of thing is just so pervasive and every area, it seems, and it's hard to talk about one without talking about the other. And like Tommy said, it's a really, really dark topic, so advisory here, like if you can't handle this sort of stuff, honestly, stick around, because you need to be woken up to what the world is. You can't just keep walking around like an NPC ignoring it, because these are the people that you're giving your money to, and you're giving your veneration up to, and you're giving your time and your effort, and they don't deserve it. They deserve to be flogged and tarred and feathered and drugged through the streets and put in jail forever. So, yeah, we're talking these sick fucks. If you watched our first episode, we got kind of, we got off track again. But we mainly were talking...
It was pretty well themed. I mean, we were going into a couple of things. We did go off track a little bit. We had a lot more like celebrity names we wanted to drop and kind of go into some of the allegations against them and everything.
Yeah.
But I think that the way that we're kind of going about it is just. It really is, because this is the vibe here when it comes to this topic, and you have to take it too from like a stance of people who just don't know. There's people out there that just have no idea of the level this stuff is going on.
Yeah, every time, like you said, it's like it goes away and comes back and goes away and like every time it comes back, that's like a new wave of people figuring it out for the first time. And then you've got people like us who have known about it for decades, and there's so much going on all the time that we're paying attention to that, it does go on the back burner. We do forget because it's decades ago that this shit happened. And then it comes up and it's like, man, all the shit is connected.
Yep. And that's the point too of this, is it's showing this web of connections. To kind of keep it in a Hollywood place is tough. it's very tough
Yeah.
because of how expansive it is. It is rooted heavily in politics, and it's just, I think that
You think
honestly,
they'd be
the way
small
that
circles. You think these things would
Yeah.
happen within small circles, and you would be able to segregate. Like, even if it was happening in different areas, those small circles wouldn't interconnect. But they do. The circles are huge, and they all interconnect because they're all into the same nasty stuff.
It's a shared hobby, if you will, and it's also
A shared religion, a shared faith.
yes, and shared power.
Yeah.
This power is distributed amongst all of these people, these groups, these industries. It's a very pervasive, very insidious type of web, and the connections between it. The power dynamics here with like intelligence and like fame, and there's a lot of blackmail. There's a lot of satanic undertones, occult undertones, where they symbolically and spiritually do these things to kids because it gives them power. They also like to manipulate and brainwash children so that in the future they are useful tools for them in their causes. It gets just it's a currency at the upper echelons. It's a currency.
So you have the idea that like this is so pervasive because people get so much money and so much power that this is the only thing that is thrilling or exciting anymore, is to hurt others or to cause harm or to have something that's forbidden, like a child. And on the other hand, you have people that believe this religion, this faith, this Babylonian, satanic, whatever it is. They're worshiping Satan, they're worshiping Saturn, they're worshiping Baal, they're giving their kids to Moloch, like whatever it is. You can call it, like, it goes by many different names, but it all seems to be the same thing. Names. It's evil. It's pure fucking evil. And they believe that faith. They believe they're getting, and then they are getting power from it. Then you have like probably just pure evil, like Tommy said, blackmail, politician. Like you're just the bureaucrat of this evil. You know, you're using it to get a leg up. You're using it to get blackmail on your rivals or to keep everybody in line and keep everybody in check and keep the ball rolling, because without it, the whole house of cards falls down. So you got to have this leverage on everybody to make sure everybody plays ball. And I guess then
it's
you have
so funny.
people,
plays ball.
Yeah.
Plays ball.
Yeah, right. I didn't even mean that. And then you've got also, like Tommy said, the people that are born into it, they're bred into it, they're brought into it, and they're mind controlled, they're personally handled, they're not taught anything else. This is the life they're taught, and they think it's just normal. And there's probably more circumstances where this just becomes normal. And now you see with the media, like we're talking about this Hollyweirdness, you see the media trying to push it to us like it's normal. Like we know, we feel it in our hearts that this stuff is weird, but over the generations and over time now we've been exposed to it in such a drip trickle fashion that we're numb to it. People grow to think it's cool. Oh, the demons are cool, the horns are cool, Satan's cool, because we don't believe the stories anymore. We've been told that, you know, all the religion is bullshit. So like, these guys are cool. They just look cool. They're fun. And so now we're going to rock concerts that have openly occult satanic rituals. We're going to rap concerts where people are dying, and people think that those are like actually sacrifices that are happening in the crowds. Like rituals going on in the Vegas sphere. Like, it's
100%.
People are just happy to give their, like I said, their money, their time, their veneration to it, and you gotta cut it out. Like, start judging each other. We should start shaming each other. Like, oh, you listen to that person? Oh, you're watching that show? Don't you know that person was on the Epstein list? Like, who cares if nothing's proven? Dude, you went to Epstein's Island and you didn't think that any of that was weird? Like when
it
you
should
see,
at least, at the very least, it should raise suspicion in a person. It should draw into question the person's character. So these people that are holding these celebrities, politicians in such high regard, and they do so in like a they're unstained type of way,
right.
in like a pure type of fashion. They're holding them in like a superhero type of context, or even a god type of context. I mean, if you can't draw some type of questioning out of just the sheer connections, you got to look into that. That's a problem. That honestly should tell you that you're like totally hypnotizable. Those are the people that you could probably send into a hypnotist session there, and the hypnotist can get them to cluck like a chicken.
Right. It really makes me want to like wring the necks of the Trump people, just shake them and scream at them to ask why are you still a Trumper after everything is so blatantly clear. Like, it doesn't matter if he was quote unquote working for the FBI to like do this sting operation on Jeffrey. Like, even if that's the case, dude, there's so many all of these reports correspond with one another. So even if they're all bullshit, like, you can't have that many bullshit calls that all correspond to one another, all say a similar thing. Like, it just doesn't work like that. And then all the history, all the friendship, all the pictures. And like, yes, we understand that like he's a blackmail master. So like not everything necessarily is incriminating, but like really it is. Really it all is incriminating. Like, if you were ever around that guy, you knew what he was up to, and you're still around him. Like, these people are playing ball, and I'm going to keep saying it, playing ball with the fucking evil pedophilic elites. And even just doing that means you're guilty too. Like, at my local store that I work at, there's one dude that everybody knows is a pedo, or at least like a sexual harasser, because he's got apartments in town, and the college kids will rent his apartments, and he's tried to elicit sexual favors in exchange for rent. And he's been caught 3 times and has settled outside of court 3 times. I think I've talked about this in the last episode, maybe.
Yeah, you might have.
Because it's all ringing familiar now.
I remember you telling me about it at the very least.
When he comes into my store, I'm like, can we stop serving this guy? Can we kick him out? Can we not do business with a pedophile, please? And like, I've been there for 3 years, and over the time, we've like broken the bridge with this guy little by little, to the point where he doesn't come in anymore and we don't have to do business with him. But I want it to be worse than that. Like, again, tarred, feathered, drug through the streets. Like, we need to assert that this is not okay, and not just for the sake of money and business and for things to work and get along, just go along with it, because the world needs to burn down for us to hold these people accountable. So we need to be okay with the world burning down so that these people can all be held accountable.
I think that publicly, and like at the middle to lower class, which is the vast majority of the world, of civilians, of the population, that it is that way. I think that anybody who knows about a local pedophile that in their town, that person is getting shamed. That person does get bad treatment. It's up at the upper echelons where this gets convoluted, and where they kind of support each other, and they finagle laws and rig juries and redact files and postpone releasing of them.
I mean, I believe in our part 1, I spoke about this as well. Like, I'm seeing it at a local level too. Like, you have local DAs, you have local police stations that won't go after and prosecute these pedophiles, even with the proof in hand. Yeah. Because of what? I don't know. It's harder to prosecute them, or the evidence doesn't stick, or what. Like, they're not even willing to do their fucking job or try. Like, you can't convince them. It doesn't matter. Yeah. And why doesn't it matter? It needs to matter more to everybody. Like, I question this, and I'm waiting for somebody to comment and tell me something that's worse. Like, what is the worst thing you can do to somebody or anybody? Like, a human. Like, what is the worst absolute atrocity anybody could ever commit? sexual assault, I would say. And what's worse than sexual assault? Sexual assault on a minor. What's worse than that? I can't think of anything worse. You could say killing somebody. That's not worse. Killing somebody, they're just dead, you know? They don't have to deal with the mental trauma and the anguish and the growing up thinking about that the rest of their lives. That it's the worst thing that you could do to somebody. What else? Or that's the most heinous act you could commit. What's worse? Leave it in the comments. There's nothing worse. So why do we not hold these people to that level of accountability, that you are committing the worst act, the worst atrocity possible? What's the worst punishment? Punish them the hardest.
It's it's those echelons, man. It's the power structure. That's where the whole game for this is bound, and it's centered. It's with the power, like you said. It's
and you see people go to jail for life for drugs, and then you get 5 to 7 years for child abuse.
In the United States, let me see, I have it pulled up actually. In the United States, approximately, almost 500,000 children are reported missing in the United States each year.
Yeah.
Each year. Daily is about 2,300 children.
Yeah.
Roughly one child every 40 seconds.
Yep.
Every 40 seconds. And there is some really cool stuff going on. Different organizations that are kind of trying to go after this type of thing. There is, and especially lately, there has been a lot going on with it. A lot just does not get into the public zeitgeist. It gets shut down, shadow banned.
You hear about those things, yes, but then you also hear that sometimes the children go into these programs and then go missing. Like these children that need help, need homes, go into CPS, Child Protective Service, and they go missing because people aren't doing their jobs. They're not checking in with them. They're putting them in dangerous homes or intentionally putting them elsewhere, like missing papers. These things are happening. And then even like the smaller organizations, sometimes those are not doing what they're supposed to be doing either, and children are ended up missing. There's movement in both directions happening, and this has been a thing that's been going on for quite a while.
It's the most heinous of things. It truly is, and the darkest of what's really going on in the world. I think it's what calls a lot of people to action too. A lot of what calls people to kind of becoming conspiracy theorist, going down these rabbit holes. A lot of it has to do with this topic. They stumble upon it and they hear something along the lines of it. It shatters their perception of the world, and they kind of get a glimpse behind that curtain, and it calls them to action.
And I posed Tommy this question earlier, that like, if, say for instance, we had proof that some of these missing kids were actually going into McDonald's burgers. If you've heard the conspiracy that, McDonald's is serving more burgers per year, according to them, like what their papers say they're putting out, is more beef than we slaughter cows. And so, like, yeah, you could say that we're importing beef from elsewhere, but like, there's every other restaurant also. Like this amount of meat that McDonald's is putting out is just unfounded.
There's an allowed amount. There's an allowed amount of human meat that is able to be in their formula for their burgers.
Yeah,
that's an actual rule or law in their creation.
So say the files came out on McDonald's that proved that, or even not even, just like we have that theory alone, right? That theory exists. It's kind of prominent. It's easy to find. Why doesn't Burger King make that one of their ad campaigns? Like, oh, hey, nobody's got anything on us about putting kids in our burgers. Probably because they put kids in their burgers too. So like when it comes to now Microsoft, fucking Bill Gates, is all over the Epstein list. You'd think a Microsoft's competitor, Sony, would be like, hey, none of our top CEOs are on the Epstein list. Probably because they are somewhere. Like,
Yeah.
Can't be saying stuff like that. Tommy's saying, like, they're all sitting at the same table. Like, all these, they're all doing it.
They're all...
they're all knowledgeable. Like, they're all complicit. They all have heard of it and said nothing.
They're part of the same Ivy League schools. They're part of the same elite circles, the same families. They share the same proclivities. They go to the same events around the year. They go to the same Davos meetings. They go to the same Bohemian Groves.
At the very least, they're willing to forsake their morals and their beliefs to achieve something that they want, that they can get through these people. So when you hear celebrities say, oh, well, I sold my soul to the devil, even if you're not believing that they literally signed over their soul to a demon or a devil, you can believe that these people are horrible. They're the worst people on the planet. And you literally have to say, all right, I'm willing to forget that I know that these people are eating children to become a pop star, you know? I want to be a pop star, so I'm willing to look the other way at least. And then, oh, well, actually, I like hanging out with these people. I'm going to check out what's in the back room. Like that, it happens both ways.
Yeah, it's these circles, they're tight and they're bound by secrecy. They're bound by a code that these elite families run on. It's different rules. It's actually different rules for the different segments of the society. Upper echelon, I mean, we look at the politicians. I mean, when are they getting arrested, right?
Yeah.
For doing crazy shit that if me and you did, we would have been in jail freaking yesterday and for the rest of our lives.
And who's going to arrest them?
Just pay fines and come out.
Because you think that, like, all right, you want to arrest all the politicians. That's a coup, right? You want to host a coup. You need to get the military on your side. Well, we see through the Erica Kirk shit that, the military actually had a pedo ring going on in Romania back when she was doing the Romanian Angels. There was a high-ranking general that was accused of child sex trafficking. That's why they got kicked out of Romania, the Romanian Angels. That's the theory. So, like, you can't you can't go to the military. You can't go to the tech people to out it. Because, you can't go to the news because the news is paid for. So you'd like to go to the tech platforms and out it. But then the tech people are all bought into it, too.
It's such a radioactive, offense and radioactive type of subject, topic, claim, right? Even that just even bringing it up, it brings scrutiny. It brings the eye upon you. And
and then you'd say, oh, well, I'd like to just go somewhere else because America's terrible. Well, it's happening everywhere. Where do you want to go? Because everybody's guilty of it. The better the country, the better you think that country is, the worse they probably fucking are.
It's bad everywhere. It's just a thing. It's been going on.
France is like the most pervasive exporter of pedophiles.
Yeah,
it seems.
And
as I keep looking into this, it's like all these high-ranking artists. They're all French. They're all pedos.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking nasty shit, honestly. But it's been going on since the Babylon times. It's been going on for quite a long time, and it's directly tied to like satanic type agendas, tied to Malachian, Saturn, Baal worship, these sacrificing children for power, for favors with gods, lowercase g god demons, and
I think
that's how this all works.
I think you'll see it more and more in the next decade or so. I'm going to keep making stupid predictions that these maps, the minor attracted peoples, are going to become more of a public figure. They're going to try to argue for rights. They're going to make the argument that this has been going on throughout all of history. And look at how even the Romans did it with little boys, and you see it throughout all of history pervasively. So they'll make the argument that this goes on in other cultures and it's gone out throughout all the time, and we should be able to be minor attracted peoples. And so people be ready for that and be ready to respond to that appropriately, because that's not okay.
There's a part of me that wants to be like, oh, well, right now I don't know if that's really the direction that it would go, because it felt like that was more of a push during, like, let's just say a left-leaning government that was
social justice warriors.
But we have on the right, far right, we've got one Nick Fuentes, who has publicly gone on his podcast talking about how Jeffrey Epstein wasn't having sex with children, he was having sex with young girls.
Yeah.
And that is just the most insane thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And how Nick Fuentes is actually talking about, too, how he thinks it's okay, like a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and he's got the ear of the alt-right,
what are we talking?
Like the radical right youth.
So if that right there gets put into the ears of the right, then, I mean, eventually, especially with this Epstein thing that's going on, they're going to be looking to classify so that they can kind of get everything put into little neat boxes, presented to the public, and they're going to be looking for damage control on a lot of these different politicians and high-ranking figures.
With all of this Epstein stuff coming out, if anybody is looking at it and reading it, if you can put your emotions aside for a second, because even myself, you can see how heated I get about the topic, realize that nothing is substantiated. Like, all of these claims, all of these emails, nothing was ever investigated to a point where there's proof of anything. And,
at least that we know of.
Right. So they could have put out 6 million emails. They could have put out 6 million files, whatever. A combination of all the shit. Like, none of it actually means anything. Like we were talking about in the other episode with the pictures. None of the pictures mean anything. None of these videos mean anything. None of these emails mean anything, because if you look and you say, oh, well, we'll put the calls up, I'll put pictures up, I don't know, maybe we'll pull it up later, because I do want to talk about it. But the one I saw was these girls had called in all these reports, and it's like report, response, and then the very last one is all blacked out, and that's like action taken, essentially. But most of them are like, oh, the girl never responded to us, we tried to contact her back and she didn't contact us, and dead in the water. It's like these girls are making the claims, and then the FBI is failing to follow up properly, or like they investigated and nothing happens, and then that means nothing now. Like, it's unsubstantiated.
Or the women are leveraged
always
privately to not come out and speak, or they're settled with privately.
According to the BBC, in one of the claims, there was 3 men. There was Taj Anderson, and then 2 twins. It was Colin and Oren Anderson. So 3 brothers. They're Israeli real estate moguls here in the U.S. They sold real estate to elites like Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Here, I got a fucking list, actually. Let me pull it up. But so in the emails, a woman had claimed that, or not an email, these are FBI reports.
Memos.
Yeah, but in the files that dropped, it's the woman had claimed that these twins raped her, and then I think even the brother came in and raped her. And so they're being charged, and I think right now they're held in custody. Lindsay Lohan, Liam Gallagher, Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, Steve Madden, Tom Hilfiger. These are all clients of these 3 brothers that raped, and I think I'll have to pull the email up later. Possibly even killed this woman. But the woman that had made the claim, according to the BBC, she's dead. She was found dead in Australia, I believe.
Yeah.
And so, like, can't follow up with her. Sorry. So,
Nope.
like, the FBI might not be doing their job properly, but maybe they are, and another institution, another association got to these women first. And so the FBI can't do an investigation if the women are already dealt with, you know?
Exactly. And that's really what it all boils down. This is because it is penetrated into military, into law enforcement, into the justice system, into the executive branch, and it's everywhere. It's so pervasive in these very key and high positions of power that anything that comes out that could be damaging, anything that could lead back, it gets nipped quick.
And everything that does come out, like I said, unsubstantiated, proves nothing, can't hold up in court. Nobody's going down for it. So nobody's going down for it. We're gonna get 6 million Epstein files. That's a funny number, 6 million. That just keeps coming up throughout history.
Yeah, literally. No, that's actually insane because that's like foreshadowing. That number will just keep getting hammered into our skulls. Like before even the World War II thing happened, before the Schmollishmost happened, it literally, that number was being like echoed across newspapers, across frickin' all sorts of things, the 6 million number. And if that's coming back now, you better know that there's something coming. There's something huge, like on a level of that type of deception, that type of even real world disaster level thing, orchestrated psyop type of event, false flag, something's coming. If you're hearing that number, I'm telling you right now, that's I wanted to ask you that too. When you said that number, I was going to be like, did you come up with that number or did you hear that somewhere?
No, that's what they said they were going to release.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane. That's like in the intelligence agencies and in these like circles, they use numbers like that in public, like disclosure and like encoded messaging. They'll use stuff like that as like a it's like a message. It goes out as a message.
There's an occult what's it? It's not numerology. Gematria, thank you. Like all the numbers translate into something. All these numbers mean something. If you believe in angel numbers, then these numbers have power. It's witchy occult shit, and they practice it. So when you see the numbers pop up again and again and again, don't think you're crazy or don't think it's nothing. That's a thing that they do.
Yep, it's a system that they use. It's comms.
Yeah,
it's comms without leaving a trail.
Yeah.
Plausible deniability, because everybody's crazy who's looking at the numbers. They made the movie with Jim Carrey. You know, that number 23. They made the movie, so you can literally call anybody crazy. You can reference a movie and call anybody crazy that's doing like any type of tracing of these moves numerically, which is a system they use. They use encoding. That's
and
like, there was a huge thing in World War II, was like the code breakers, you know, like what were they called, like the wind talkers or something?
Oh, I don't know.
It was like an actual division where they were breaking codes from the Nazis.
It was a big thing, because everybody was speaking back and forth in code back then.
Spy frickin' 101 is like, learn the ciphers, learn to decipher the messages, and that they leave messages in crazy places.
And they still do. Like coders are leaving secret hidden messages in their code, like unfunctioning code, so that if you go into the code, you can read their secret messages.
Yep. It's for those with the eyes to see. Like, they make sure to leave these types of things for those who know the cipher. Yeah. It's a way to get a message across.
I think we're just repeating a lot of what was in the first episode. So let's get into some of what we wanted to talk about today.
Yeah, we had this desire to get into this known witch. She's a witch. I don't care what anybody says.
We got a couple witches.
Oh yeah, there's more than a couple when it comes to this seedy freaking circle that we're trying to expose and unravel.
These are going to be the big two.
You have what exactly do you have for your people?
I mean, I'll start with you know a bit about Marina Abramovich, so I'll start with Michelle Lamy if you'd like. We can 100%. Just cover her real quick. So, well, I don't know about real quick. So, Michelle Lamy, first off, this is like a weird tangent before I even get into this. I'm Googling, just looking stuff up, trying to find her weird art collection. We're going to do this here on the show, actually. I'm going to show you these people's art because it's clearly satanic and evil. And if you can be objective and look at it, you can agree that, yeah, no, that's a little messed up. There's nothing cool. There's nothing, they always say that, like, oh, this controversial art, or it's very daring or provocative or controversial. Like they're always trying to push these boundaries with the art. Yeah, it's fucking no. It's just evil and satanic and pedophilic, really. But they're trying to pass it off as something else.
It's along the lines of like mind control and like dark psychology.
Yeah,
they use these types of extreme, disturbing, very risque, ritual occult style art. They use it to kind of crack at the subconscious.
Yep.
Subconscious talks through symbols and talks through pattern recognition. It doesn't. The conscious is more the linear, mathematical, analytical, straight lines type of modality of thinking. And then your subconscious talks in symbols, and they use shared symbols. They use these crazy, disturbing images and symbolic meanings, occult wrapped up messaging, and it speaks to people's subconscious. It's a very dark psychology style of kind of warping the public. It's really what they're doing with these performance arts and things of that nature. Very disturbing shit.
So, just I'm doing cursory research. I Google her name, and this picture comes up of her when she's younger, and I'm like, I'll throw up a picture right now. Like, she looks like a haggard old witch. Like, when you think of crone, when you think of hag, when you think of witch, this is exactly what you would think. Like, this bitch is a haggard, old crone witch. It's crazy. So I'm going through these pictures, and there's a picture of her younger, and she's a little bit more beautiful. And then there's another picture of her very young, and she looks exactly like Mila Jovovich. And I'm like, Like, it says her name right under. It's like a Times article of when she was really young, before she got into any of this stuff. She was still very artistic before she got super weird. So I'm like, wow, she looks just like Mila Jovovich. I click on that picture, and then there's another picture of her that young that looks just like Mila Jovovich. So I click on that picture, and then somebody else had taken a picture of Michelle Lamy and put Mila Jovovich under it. And so now I'm connected by 2 clicks to Mila Jovovich. And I'm like, what are they doing? Like, did they replace her? Is she the same person? Because you see this sometimes in Hollywood where people look really similar. People almost look like reincarnations of each other. And, like, it was 1 for 1. Like, she looked just like Mila Jovovich when she was this young. And then the only next picture of her any older, she looks like an entirely different person. And, like, yeah, she's like pretty, but it's an entirely different person. There's no way, to me perceiving this, you go from this type of look that looks like Mila Jovovich to this that looks like a younger version of she does now. Like, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. But anyway, so before she was all crazy, she was getting into art, and apparently she went to somewhere in the Middle East, I forget, but she got into like these weird traditions over there, and that's when she started dyeing her fingers black. And so that dyeing your fingers black is an occult sign. It's connection with death. It's like a mark against God, even. It's like hands wrought with blood. It's dark. It's demonic. It's like you touched death, or some sort of rebirth. Like, it's weird, and she does it every single day. She'll put this, or she's even got it tattooed. I'm not sure, because I've heard it's stained, I've heard it's tattooed, and then I heard she does it on her own. So, like, I can't really verify that. I have seen a couple pictures of her without
it's a ritual.
but more recently she's always got it. And then she has this line on her forehead all the time, which is like the third eye. And so after this excursion when she was younger over to the Middle East, I want to say Egypt, but I'll put something up here, correct myself if I'm wrong. But she started taking on all these witchy practices after that, and then skyrocketed through the elite fashion industry. Yep. So now this super witch practicing occult, crazy satanic bullshit is got all the celebrities like at her beck and call. They want her fashion. They want her insight. Yep. She's also like a fashion guru, a business genius apparently. And like you listen to her talk and you can't even understand her. She doesn't form complete sentences. And like, yeah, I get that she's old now, but like I don't understand how she's this fucking wonderful person when she can't even talk straight. And like, again, I think she's French. Yeah. French. Again, these pedophilic weirdos come from France. So English isn't her first language. Maybe that's the problem here. But she's also married to a guy named Rick Owens. And Rick Owens his art is even more demonic and weird. Very like BDSM, sexual, more like dark and satanic and demonic. And they do all this work together. And he has like called himself, I think, like a demon king or a demon prince, some sort of, like, he declares himself as evil and satanic. Like, never said that he's a Satanist, but makes those allegories to himself.
Yeah. And that's a common theme too, where they have the deniability public. They'll make actual like claims. Oh, I'm not Satanist. You know, I like my art. I do my art in this type of fashion. And it's like, but then the things that they do are clear, like reflection. They are just blatantly lying. And maybe they aren't Satanists, you know? They might not label themselves as Satanists. They might be Babylonian dark magicians, for all we know. They might be Thelemists. They might be Saturnists.
Right. It doesn't matter. We're gonna fucking rebuke it all in the name of Jesus Christ and call it all what it is, which is evil and
satanic.
Deserves to be shot. Yeah, satanic, antichrist. It's not okay. So Rick Owens had this ex-boyfriend named Rick Castro, and Rick Castro was also this like artist, photographer who did a lot of like S&M, like BDSM fetish type of art, where all of his models were tied up and bound in in extreme ways.
Yeah.
And so nothing I ever saw with minors, but very sexual and disgusting. And that's what they do. They try to make it normal. They try to normalize it.
Yep, it's to push boundaries. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how, you know, I think that it's very strange, and it kind of speaks to me in a weird way, where it's like, what they probably, the elite, what they do is they are into all of this stuff, and then they're just going about their normal elite shenanigans, life and everything, and then there's a person that pops up that just comes onto the radar because they're like already dialed into this like dark realm, and they're creating and they're demonstrating new things to these elite, like new ways of understanding it, or like they're expanding the boundaries or the potential for their like their understanding of it, their spiritual side of it. And then they like blow that person up. They like fixate, attach to them, and it almost feels like these people come along like they're born, and it's almost like the elite are waiting for them.
Right.
Like they're waiting for this person to show up. They don't know who it's going to be. Or maybe they do. Maybe they make them.
Well,
I don't know.
They become like a priestess. Whoa. They become a priest.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
It's like, it's not like they're waiting for it, but it's like this person went through what was necessary to become that figure. As if,
and they find them
as you would in a church. So like she went off to this country in the Middle East. She understood, she learned a thing, was able to practice it and prove it through her early fashion stuff, that then she quickly became this elite because everybody was like, oh,
yep,
she knows what's going on. Her practices,
she got it. Yep.
Yeah, her practices work.
And she wasn't necessarily brought up, like, it's almost like more of a pure darkness that was housed in this woman, that they see it, and they see it exemplified in her work, and they attach to it, and then they elevate it and draw from it as you will. It's pretty wild shit, dude. Really, it's absolutely insane. And she's not the only type of person. This type of thing happens a lot, where these up and coming, very dark, very magically focused, dark themes in their creation, they get elevated, and it changes everything. They use their influence from their art, or from their teachings or understandings, their books, literature, and they use it. They find it to be useful, and they take it and push it to the public, and package it up in different ways, make movies that hold on to certain ideals that were discussed in their literature, like with Aleister Crowley. His themes, they end up just kind of purveying the entirety of Hollywood at the end of the day.
Right.
Do as thou wilt type thing.
Yeah.
It just ends up coming around, and they use it. It's freaking nuts.
It's praising self. It's all self-expression.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Do, like you said, do what you will. Be a god.
It's almost like these people are like avatars for the darkness that just come about. They come about because of certain conditions that were laid out just by these elite being elite, causing these conditions to happen in the world, and then a person is born, and they're born of that circumstance, and then they kind of rise like a dark star, and they just attach to them, and then they're like, this is it, this is the birth of our evil deeds made manifest. So, and then they teach new things, and it expands their whole thing, their whole network, understanding their capabilities as dark overlords. It's freaking crazy. So, that's truly how I think about it. That really is. That's how my schizo brain sees it.
I'm going to just name some people that I want everybody to just disavow from now on, because they're connected with this person. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, let's just, because all the Epstein files are going to come out and nobody's going to go down. So we got to just make the connections ourselves, and then decide we're going to tar and feather these people through the streets. Like, that's not literally, but figuratively. Like, we need to disavow them. We need to rebuke them. We need to stop watching these things. So, like, we can't just say, oh, Michelle Lamy, because that's just like a label, a brand, the clothing that these people wear, right? But it's more than that. It's all behind doors that you're never going to know about. But let's say that Rihanna, Zendaya, Timothée Chalamet, ASAP Rocky, Nicki Minaj, these people all wear her clothes. They're all really tight with her. Let's just disavow them. They're working with a Satanist. They're working with a witch. They're willing to sacrifice their soul for the Hollywood, for the fame, for the reputation, for the power, whatever it is. Nope, we're done. Like, those are some of the biggest names in Hollywood, right? Like, it must work. That's why they do it. Let's just disavow them all.
I mean, if you're still fucking looking at Hollywood like that, or even certain music, I don't even know what to tell you.
People love
anymore.
Timothée Chalamet. People love Zendaya. What do you mean? Zendaya can do no wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's fucking Spider-Man's girlfriend. Yeah. Timothée Chalamet was just in Dune. They were such a cute. They could have been the best couple, but she ended up with, fucking Spider-Man, which they're so cute too. But guess what? No more Spider-Man. I know it's the best movies out there. Can't watch it, because guess what? Sony's probably corrupt. Disney's super corrupt. And seems like his girlfriend's corrupt, so he's probably corrupt, so let's just not. I don't know. They're all corrupt.
Yeah.
We can't watch TV anymore? No, we can't watch TV anymore. Stop watching TV. Just watch reality. Reality's crumbling around you, and just be aware of what's going on. Because they're all in these dark circles. They're all in the dark circles, and we're just going to let it happen. Like, what if it was just your small town? You got a town, 10 houses. One house, they do this kind of shit. You're going to burn down their fucking house. You're going to kick them out of town at the very least. Like, what are you talking about? We're just going to let this keep happening. We're going to support it. I've been trying to find media where I feel okay, and I don't anymore. I thought anime was okay, and I'm like seeing that even the anime is bad. I don't know what I don't know what media to consume anymore, other than just the reality, the news, because all of it's just made by evil people.
Yeah.
I get heated. I'm getting heated. I just want video games and TV, man. I'm a fucking lazy kid at heart. But I found out it's all evil. It's all trying to get your soul. So Michelle Lamy, that's about all I got on her. She's dark and twisty. We're gonna put up a bunch of pictures of her art some more right here real quick. Just some stuff that you should probably look at and see.
Yeah.
But she is highly connected with Marina Abramovich, the next one we're going to talk about.
Absolutely. Marina Abramovich is truly witch. Like, you can't really look at her in her work and her art and connections to very high profile people. She crosses those borders as well. She crosses the Hollywood political spheres, even tech and certain corporations. She's everywhere, and it's with these same players that we've been talking about that have all these connections to darkness, really, to satanic accusations at the very least, accusations slash, I mean, look at the evidence type deal. She was born in Belgrade, in that's capital of Serbia, in 1946. She's an old lady now, but her claim to fame was doing a piece of performance art where she would rhythmically stab the spaces between her fingers. Do you remember in school?
Yeah,
like
everybody
doing stuff like that.
Did she start that?
I don't know. That's probably something that's been around for a while, but it's just strange to me that, you know, this is, you know, like right around the time that she's doing these performance art pieces is when we're like kids in school, and it kind of ripples across the country. Right. This like stabbing in between your fingers. It's like a little ritual. And it also is like risk of like stabbing yourself in blood, and like it's like a weird thing. And it's just I thought of that when I saw her doing that. I'm like, everybody's doing that, but she did it in like a performance art style where she would keep doing it.
Do you know
and
when?
She would cut herself. This was around the 70s. Around the 70s.
So
into
so
the
by
80s.
the time we were kids in the 90s, this shit
like our
super just
our
like
older siblings or even parents,
through the culture, just a thing kids do. When really it could be like a little ritual that these kids are practicing, and like Tommy said, you're drawing blood. You're getting these kids to cut themselves and draw blood.
Yep. It's weird because it's a
spread
piece
your
of
hand
this,
out like a 5-pointed star.
I think it kind of shows this echo, this wave that happens from these people. You think that, oh, it's just some piece of art, doesn't really affect me or reality. It's just some weird little thing that happened. But these things can have effects that are unnoticed or unseen. I didn't draw that conclusion when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I just thought it was some dumb game, and it is just a dumb game on a certain layer, a certain level. But then when I do this research into this woman, and I see that that's kind of like one of the things that she started doing early on that kind of caught attention, And I'm sitting back thinking, I mean, all the kids were doing stuff like that during school.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if there's any single child in the millennial age group that hasn't played that game.
Right.
I don't think there is. And like, show me someone who hasn't done that. And
it doesn't have to be as crazy as we're alluding to, that it's like an actual occult practice that pervaded the culture and now kids are doing it. Like, it doesn't have to be that. It could be something as simple as, what a strange coincidence that this thing is happening in such a way. Yeah. And that way is that, like, kids are doing it. Is it for attention? Is it for the thrill? Is it because it's dangerous? Like, what is the reason that kids are doing it? Because it doesn't make sense.
It's wild. It's wild. It's truly just, it's kind of like a weird side effect of just the art that she did.
Right.
And it just kind of leaks out into the ethos, and it has weird side effects. It's like diseasey. It's black magic shit, dude.
Even if it's not, it speaks to the simplicity and stupidity of art. I think art is evil. Like, something in and of art, like, it sounds weird to say, right? But, like, why is anybody making art? Art is the least productive thing on the planet. Like, yeah, it can be consumed and it invokes a feeling and it can convey a message, but, like, really, you're not doing anything. And then we find that actually there's a lot of, like, money laundering that goes on with art. Like, there's a lot of inflamed prices on these pieces just so people can say that they spent them or donated them or did this and that with so much money. So, like,
I think it's like, I don't share the same view of it, really. Like, I think that there's like God-given things. Like, we have the ability to create art, and I think that's a God-given thing. I think that it gets hijacked by these Satanists, for a better term. I mean, they invert, you know. So we have this God-given ability to create. We want to create, and that's what art is in its simplest form. We're creating scenes, or we're trying to convey our emotions or our understandings of things, and it bridges gaps between people, cultures, and everything. And that's a beautiful thing. It is beautiful. What's not beautiful is this dark stabbing between your fingers until they bleed and calling that art. What's not beautiful is this going back to Marina Abramovich.
Well, before you do, I'm sorry, but, like, the point I wanted to make was that, like, you get things as stupid as, like, if you've seen the guy that stacks the red buckets of sand and then pulls the cork on the one at the bottom and it slowly drips sand until it falls, or the guy that just slaps himself around on the clay. Like, you get this modern art that's just stupid. It means nothing. And then you also get this stuff that we're talking about, where it's like Satanism hidden in plain sight, trying to manipulate the minds. But, like, even apart from, like, art as in, like, installations or museum, like, the music is mind, like, yes, to Tommy's point, there can certainly be beautiful, inspiring, invoking, good art. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, very much all the time it is infiltrated and is mind controlling, it is debilitating, it is hindering, it is hurting. It's just not good most of the time.
It's just with what's being pushed and propagated by the famous people right now, by Hollywood, by the even political complex. I mean, there's a wing in the Pentagon for Hollywood. They have their own slice of that Pentagon pie. It is literally for Hollywood. I mean, think with your minds a little bit on that one, people. But we got this. So the stabbing of the fingers, just crazy. And then all of a sudden, all the kids around the frickin' country are just stabbing in between their fingers. Very weird. She laid in a burning star. So she put a star down on the ground, lit fire within the burning star, and laid down in the middle of it, called it art. She almost died in that one. She almost died from smoke inhalation. She ended up passing out and almost died. Some awesome stunt that got her publicity. And she has this famous Rhythm Zero. Now, this is something that I got in an argument with AI over, because it's trying to tell me that it's not inherently evil or bad, or that it doesn't display any type of negative weight on a scale from innocent and good and productive for humanity, or negative, evil, and totally just not good for people. AI was telling me that it was a 2 or a 3 on that scale, which 1 is innocent and 10 is super evil. Fucking wild. So this Rhythm Zero, she encouraged attendees. So she sets up this this exhibit where she is the object of the exhibit, and she laid out 72 tools. These tools were anything from feathers or something soft or roses.
Yeah, flowers.
Flowers type thing, all the way to knives, scissors, guns that are loaded that can cause death, all sorts of things. And she gives herself up as, you can do anything you want to me.
For 6 hours.
And yeah, for 6 hours straight. And she had all this stuff happen. People were...
And it's all recorded.
Ripping her clothes, cutting her and licking her blood, and held the loaded gun to her head, and all this stuff. And yes, it's recorded. You can find this. It's a art piece. And she tries to tie the fact that all of this violence, pain, suffering that was created is in some way, shape, or form showing humanity's darkness. And AI's trying to tell me that it was that's what it was, and that's what her intent was to show this and to endure it, and that it had some type of positive effect. And I'm just mind blown that I'm arguing with a computer over this morality and ethics of this type of thing. And I end up...
This is Tommy's first time, I think, arguing with AI, by the way.
No, I've argued with AI a couple of times.
Well, you gotta cut it out, because you need to understand how the AI works and just know you're not going to get an actual argument. It's not a person. It's not worth arguing.
I got it to agree with me in the end.
Right, but what does that do for you?
It understood.
What does that do for you? It gives you a little sense of satisfaction, but you didn't convince a person.
It gives me
a little bit of validation.
The validation 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I do it too. I argue with AI sometimes a lot.
They're definitely very tricky and manipulative, AI is.
Yeah.
And also that my grounded understanding is right, and that I was correct the whole time, even though it was trying to gaslight me. So it's like a little exercise in not allowing something that's supposedly superior to us to direct how I think and operate. So it's
clearly wrong.
Stuck it to the tech lord. Yeah, so I end up coming to the conclusion that, like, she is leading this. She led this, and it is inherently dark. I mean, watch it for yourself. She sets the whole thing up, and who did she invite? And it turns out she ends up getting stabbed, sexually assaulted, her life threatened.
Yeah, they held the loaded gun to her head.
Wild, but she tries to blame it on humanity. Yeah,
but think of who her followers
that's just
would
one
be,
of
who her admirers would be.
Stunts.
The sort of people that like that sort of shit that she puts out is going to see, oh, well, she's doing an art thing, let me go to it. And those are going to be the crazy fuckers, just like her, that would push those buttons. And then that's supposed to be a reflection on humanity. No, sorry, it's not. I mean, it really is. It shows that at least a percentage of us are completely fucked. And like we already knew that. That's
even the way that she framed it, though, wasn't it leaning into treat me nicely. It was do what you want with me.
Yeah.
Like, that's how she framed it. So, of course, you're going to... That immediately tilts the scale to the more negative side. Did you set it up and look like you were ready to engage with people in a nice way? No, you went there and you made yourself appear as a doll. Do something to me.
And
you
also,
called yourself an object. You took away
like
your own humanity.
Ritual.
Yeah.
It's very 100%. Much like a hazing ritual because it was earlier on in her career, and like look what came of her afterwards. And
publicity stunt.
What are hazing rituals, like if not but torture, like she went through.
Yep. And that type of stuff appeals so heavily to the power structure and to these elites.
It shows you're willing to play ball.
Level. Yes. And it gives them ideas, too. It gives them ideas about how to expand their craft, their own art of terrible darkness. Yeah. Her later works included something called spirit cooking. And that came about as with direct ties to Aleister Crowley and Thelema.
Do we want to play this little clip?
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, you got this is what a bunch of your, if you like Lady Gaga, if you like Will Ferrell, a bunch of these other celebrities, I mean, they're shown in here attending one of these rituals.
No, and that's what I want to do. I wanted to do this. I was looking for this video actually, and like the guy says some stuff that, you know, he's on point. But more so, I want you to see the celebrities that are at this party and realize these are the people we need to disavow. These are the people that are in it. They're in it. They don't care. They're all about the satanic rituals.
Yep. I want to preface this this little clip with the spirit cooking. It came about, so this clip that happens is the evolution of it. In the very beginning, she did it as an art exhibit, and she would take pig's blood, and later she is reported as that choice came about because it's the closest to human blood.
Mm-hmm. She
and
probably
other
had
bodily
human
fluids.
blood.
Yeah,
all bodily fluids.
Probably.
She claims all bodily fluids. Semen,
she
shit,
had
tears, probably spit.
She had pig's blood. She had all the bodily fluids, and she wrote on the walls a lot of crazy little recipes, little like ritual occult style messaging on the walls. So one of them was if this is supposed to be some type of like consciously uplifting and positive art piece, then I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
But one of these things says cut with the knife deeply into the middle finger of your left hand. Eat the pain.
Oh, that's how
totally
I stopped being depressed. No, that's how you stop being depressed, Tommy. Didn't you know?
Yeah.
You just take your handy dandy knife and you just cut deeply the tip of your middle finger and then suck out the pain.
Eat the pain. And there were many other occult style rituals concerning blood, saliva, breast milk, semen, and fecal matter. And in this early display of spirit cooking, she had an effigy of a child in the corner that she threw pig's blood on.
Yep, a little
and
stone
painted
kid.
With blood. And what that's for, I don't know. But that seems extreme. That's used in voodoo, in these effigies and like voodoo dolls, and they're kind of hosts that take the place of an actual body, but are symbolically supposed to mean the same thing. It's part of a ritual. It's part of a magic ritual. Yeah. She denies being a Satanist or practicing of any type of dark, negative magic, spirituality. But we have her literally doing exactly that. Blood magic mind you.
What I think it is you see the effigy, and that's always the get out of jail free is like, oh, we're not doing a sacrifice, it was just an effigy, like Burning Man, like Bohemian Grove, like this. Well, I think the effigy is symbolic for there was an actual sacrifice. There was,
and this is like commemorating it.
Yes, the sacrifice needed to happen, and it needs to happen during the ritual usually. But these days we can't. We can't do the actual sacrifice during the ritual. So we do the sacrifice, and then we have the effigy at the ritual to fill in to actually prove that we did it.
They consecrate the first ritual with a real sacrifice, and then the follow-up rituals, they just use the effigy because it does the same thing spiritually. It holds the place spiritually of the first instance.
Yes.
It's what it's you're now if you're participating in a ritual that has an effigy, just know that that wasn't an effigy at some point. At some point it was people, and that the ritual is having the same effect. It's having the same effect, even if it isn't a person there right now.
I'm going to pull this up if you're ready. Or do you still
Yep, and now we're ready for... So the spirit cooking, it evolves, and celebrities and high-profile people saw this art exhibit, and she starts getting high-profile people to request a spirit cooking. And she turned it into dinner parties. And this here is the evolution of that, and some of the high-profile people that were invited and attended, and people that you should probably watch out for, because if they're attending things like this, you have to question the type of person they are. You have to. You really have to.
So you said 10:33 to when?
10:33 to 12:50.
Abramovic is also known for hosting bizarre events attended by celebrities and the wealthy. These events often include themes of dehumanization,
man, I just want to stop on
humiliation, and even cannibalism.
Yeah, if you want to discuss anything, you're totally able to.
So already we saw 2 clips of them like eating people.
They will stay in installation.
Abramovic method, also known for hosting bizarre events attended by celebrities and the wealthy. These events often include...
We got the head on the table, 2 heads on the table.
That's a real person.
These are all celebrities and high-ranking people in Hollywood.
Yep.
Maybe some politicians as well.
Include themes of dehumanization,
but that's symbolic of eating
humiliation,
people.
And
this naked lady with the rib cage on her, that's symbolic of eating people. This is a mannequin where we're eating cake from, it looks like, or maybe fruit. That's symbolic of eating people. Like, how is this not some sort of satanic ritual? How is this just art? Yep. How is this fun for anybody? How do celebrities want to be doing this?
Cannibalism. One such event inspired by Abramovic's work took place in the Hamptons in 2013 and was appropriately named...
Man, I wish I knew celebrities' names because all these people look familiar.
That was Lady Gaga.
Models covered in
that was
syrup,
Lady Gaga.
Which wealthy guests were
here.
encouraged to eat off their bodies with spoons. Separate scenes included nude men and women running and hiding in the woods.
So, this is completely unfounded. I couldn't find any proof on this at all whatsoever, but I have heard it multiple times from multiple people. It could just be a popular internet theory. But this model was never seen again after this party, allegedly, until they were found dead in a desert, missing body parts. And here they are, they're supposed to be painted, or they're painted silver, they're supposed to be like standing like a statue, like a mannequin, but also he's wounded, he's got an arrow in his side.
Yep.
That's symbolic of Jesus. They're mocking Jesus possibly with this.
Do you see what the video on the side there that's suggested for up next? Elite hunting parties.
Oh, yeah.
That's what this is referenced to.
Yeah. Yeah, for real, yep.
Bodies painted to look like objects and other such degradation. Most disturbingly, children attended and witnessed it all. Abramovic was front and center, accompanied by Lady Gaga. Other guests included Hugh Jackman, Winona Ryder, and Alan Cumming.
No more X-Men.
These are from another event in 2011, the annual fundraiser gala for the Los Angeles.
That's fucking Madonna,
Gwen
right?
Stefani.
Oh, Gwen Stefani. See, I don't know my celebrities. But yeah, how fun. Look at, we get to eat this awesome cake that looks like a parsa. No, fuck you.
It's totally not disturbing at all.
Tarred and feathered, drugged through the street.
At this event, she made no attempt to hide the cannibalistic theme, as guests ate cakes designed to look like human bodies, with real people's heads on top. Low-paid female models were spread nude on the tables as live objects, while tickets went for $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000. For those sitting at the round tables reserved for $100,000 ticket holders, like then California Governor Jerry Brown and Will Ferrell, the centerpieces were rotating platforms. Upon each, a live nude woman was covered with a life-sized human skeleton. Other celebrity guests included Debbie Harry of the band Blondie, Pamela Anderson, Kirsten Dunst, Nicole Richie, and Gwen Stefani. The cakes make more sense when one recalls the cakes of light used in Crowley's religion of Thelema. If this is what the elite got up to in front of the camera, just imagine what depravity takes place in secret. Like mini-star.
Yeah, man.
That's
exactly what he said at the end. If this is the sort of thing that they're willing to do in public, what do you think they're doing behind closed doors?
Exactly. This is more like showing the public, and it gives like a plausible deniability as well. So whenever you bring up spirit cooking, so they can talk about this stuff to each other now. So their comms on emails. I have a example email. Well, not the actual email, but an example of such thing with Tony Podesta. And
I have the email. I'll put it up here.
Yes, and so in this email, they're talking about going over to Marina Abramovich's house and having a spirit cooking.
Yeah, they're talking about going to this exact party. So Tony Podesta was there, and he was asking John Podesta if they could go. And John didn't respond, and he didn't go. But Tony went, and if you know anything about the John Podesta shit with Pizzagate and Comet Ping Pong...
Yep. And it's the connections between this type of behavior, these types of art styles, parties, like it's
and this
just
is what
so
I was saying. Like
that was
we didn't want to get into politics. We didn't want to talk about that sort of thing, but it is all connected.
Yep. Yeah, they all sit at the same tables. They do. At the end of the day, after their jobs are done, they come together and do crazy shit like this.
So let's list some more celebrities that are affiliated with her other than just Lady Gaga and Will Ferrell. We got Jay-Z and Beyonce are big friends with her. James Franco, we already know he's a fucking creep. Oh, Kanye West, Kim Kardashian. There's more. There's all these celebrities want their fashion. Like these two together, like they want that sort of fashion. They want to be in that scene. You just saw in the video, like you had, who is the Spider-Man girl that they just listed? And like, what is Spider-Man a thing? Like everybody in you gotta be, you gotta drink the Kool-Aid if you're gonna be in Spider-Man. It's like that with everything.
That cake of light that was referenced with Aleister Crowley.
Yeah, what do you know about that?
That's the bridging factor. If you will go to Ask AI or anything, there's no connection between Marina Abramovich and Aleister Crowley. Right. Even though her work is heavily suggestive of her,
right?
At least reading a few of his books.
Heavily takes inspiration from.
Yes.
Clearly.
Yes. And this cake of light is the same style where you use, like you see with these cakes, what do you think's mixed in with these cakes? You're going to have probably pig's blood. You're going to have different body fluids.
Breast milk, semen.
A lot of whatever it is. There's a lot of stuff. And this same kind of formula was built up for this cake of light. And the cake of light was... in some way to like, what's the word, sanctify for these ceremonies, for these rituals, like type of offering or a type of like way of conditioning the body for whatever the workings of these rituals. As Aleister Crowley called it, it was the great work that he was a part of throughout his whole life, this never-ending ritual that was his existence. That's how he viewed his existence.
Great work.
She carries on his work and legacy effectively as a cultural figure in the higher echelons of society, providing magical, spiritual, artistic, kind of musing and frameworks for these elite to kind of hobnob around and to play with. She had a public experiment that she made the public sign a contract that they had to stay with her for the experiment for at least 2 hours. In this experiment, she was debuting her Abramovich method, is what she called it. And it was the culmination of 40 years of her doing all of this art and what she learned spiritually, because she would go to all these different places, learn these different spiritual things. Same thing as what was going on with that Michelle Lamy, or Lamy, or whatever her name is. And so for this, she made people sign a contract that you had to stay for 2 hours. It was a public thing. Lady Gaga did her method, her little course there, and got her certificate. At the end of the 2 hours, you would get a certificate that you completed her method. And it was either sitting, standing, or laying down, and you would do a lot of sensory deprivation. So you would have like a blindfold, earmuffs, be in darkness, be silent, and just sit there for 2 hours with nothing going on, among other things that I'm sure weren't disclosed. Then we have multiple disturbing photo shoots with small children in disturbing fashions. If you get a chance to maybe tag a couple of those, they're very public.
Yeah.
You just look up Abramovich and children photos, and you'll see them. They're very disturbing. She had one with this little girl.
I want to just go through. I'm going to share my screen again, because I was actually just pulling this up. I wanted to look at everybody's art. So as I'm looking at like Rick Owens and Marina Abramovich's, just pulling it up on Google, nothing super clearly satanic or gross. It's mostly, here, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Let me fix that. All right. Nothing's like clearly satanic. It's all just got dark vibes, and it's things that they say in interviews and things that they do and the connections that they have that are super weird. But then you come to Marina and look at her art, and you see these like satanic vibes where you've got like dead looking bodies and skeletons, you got isolated people locked up, everybody's strung together and vying for power. She's always the red lady, she's always in red. Yep. She's always this,
Whore of Babylon.
Yeah, I'll have to blur that. She's hanging with her tits out with snakes hanging off of her. Here's a woman pretending to be dead with, she's naked, the model is naked with guts all over herself as if she was split open and gutted. Oh, here's the one you were talking about. Here she is with a baby. Yep. Pointing
directly at the baby's junk.
Yep.
By the way.
Why are we pointing at the baby's junk? Here she is mocking Christ. We got the crosses with her all over it, and I don't know who's on the other one. Goat horns. Here she is, lady in red, Whore of Babylon, with the satanic goat horns ripped out of the goat's skull.
Yeah, mutilated. It's not just a goat skull, it's a mutilated head of a goat.
These are almost like cow leg bones. These are gigantic bones with a person in the middle.
That was one of her other famous exhibitions where she went out and she sat atop a pile of dirty, blood-stained bones, and she was sitting on top of them, scrubbing them clean.
Just so
in public.
Inspiring, so daring,
that's
so
brave.
controversial, so brave, so great,
so brave. The pentagram on her
So
womb.
cool.
If you go up, that was another one.
Oh.
Right there, pentagram on her navel.
Oh, yeah, that's fucking crazy.
She's very satanic, but she's not satanic, folks. Just know that she's not satanic.
Cross. Yeah, no, definitely not satanic. None of this is
nope,
occult.
Definitely not.
None of this is weird in any way. It's just art. And then you get she was really good friends with Tony Podesta. Again, super close. They did a lot of work together because Tony Podesta
Political
likes
sphere.
to collect art. So here's Tony Podesta's art collection. This is the gnarliest one. I want to...
Yeah.
Like, I'll throw this up bigger, actually. I'm going to throw this up in post. This is like a little, for those who are just listening, it's like a little mole rat creature, naked with his dick hanging out. He's got like giant toenails, giant fingernails, these
It's
huge
like a sloth.
demonic claws. Yeah, it's like a mole rat sloth demon.
It's a deadly sin.
Human. It's definitely demonic. And then, it's just perching itself over a young girl, about 5 years old, embracing it in its claws. And then here we have right next to it 2 demons with cages with children in them. Here's a bunch of children facing like a shower wall with their hands behind their backs, all looking back scared. Men in bunny suits. I don't know what this... Like, this is more
totally nothing to be concerned about.
Children tied up to chairs. Yeah, nothing to be concerned about here. You know, this guy was
totally
just
normal.
The brother of one of the main funders for the Hillary Clinton campaign. If you know, you got to look into how John Podesta is and how tight they are with the Clintons. And this shit doesn't just slide. Like, if this was your brother, would you let this go? Would you say, hey, bro, fucking cut it out? Like, no. These people are all fucked. Let's tar and feather them all. I'll keep saying it. That's what we ought to do. There's no, like, throw them in jail. Let's tar and feather them first, because they're clearly not scared of jail. Jail's not going to stick. None of this punishment's going to work. We literally got to, like, shame them to a point where it makes them fear what they're doing. We got to just never stop talking about it, never stop shaming them, stop engaging, stop using the things that they create and the people that they influence. Cut them out too.
Yep, she has got her little fingers in many different pies when it comes to the rich and powerful in the world. She also...
It's like a hydra. It's got many heads.
She also... This is pretty freaking wild. This will tell you immediately. If you have any type of in like Illuminati New World Order type stuff, there's certain names that come up. And there's a certain family that does not go public with anything. Like, especially taking photos with like celebrities or artists or anything. But she posed with Jacob Rothschild in front of famous Thomas Lawrence Satan summoning his legions painting.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's unbelievable.
They make a clear, like, conscious decision to do these things that they do.
Yes.
That's not an accident.
Not an accident at all.
Not an accident. It's not an accident that the French president chose to take his presidential portrait with a book behind him written by a self-proclaimed pediatrist. That's a guy that specifically only likes little boys. He's not a pedophile. He's a pediatrist because he just likes little boys. And that's the book the French president had behind him because he's inspired, because he read that author. He wrote that. He read those books ever since he was a kid. Okay, well, now we know who you are. You're not the president anymore. You can't run France because you're a pedophile and or at least, at the very least, inspired by pedophiles. Yeah. You're fucking automatically out. So now I'm pulling this up real quick. We got our president was just implicated in the Epstein files. So same thing. Like, Trump, you're gone, dude. You're tarred and feathered. You're out. Like, why can't we just kick him out immediately? There's too many implications in the Epstein files with Trump's name on them. Far too many. And there already has been. Why have we waited this long? It doesn't make any sense. Where's the riots in the streets? Why don't we riot in the streets anymore?
We do. It's just over ICE or trans rights or...
So, this is from the recently reported Epstein files. Or the recently released, Epstein files. Redacted reported an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform oral sex on President Trump approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. The friend told Alexis that she was approximately 13 to 14 years old when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing oral sex. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after that and laughed about biting President Trump. The friend said she was also abused by Epstein. The response spoke with caller who identified blank as friend. Lead was sent to Washington office to conduct interview. Criminal history is blanked out. So, like, that sounds credible enough. What happened after that? But Trump's name's in the Epstein files a bunch of times. Excuse me. Complainant reported his ex-girlfriend were victims of Epstein, and one was murdered. While working as a limousine driver, complainant recalled picking up Donald Trump in 1995 to take him to Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. During that ride, complainant recalled some of the things Trump spoke about on his cell phone were very concerning, and describing being a few seconds from pulling the limousine over on the median and within a few seconds of pulling him out of the car and hurting him, due to some of the things he was saying. Complainant noted Trump repeatedly stated the name Jeffrey while on the phone. One of the complainant's ex-girlfriends, blank, told complainant Trump raped her, as did Epstein. Caller is talking about crimes committed against her. She claims to be a prisoner. She referenced Lisa Marie Presley and British royal family, President Trump, and Jeffrey Epstein. Like, we can go on. I don't need to. Look it up yourself, or I'll post some clips here while I'm talking about it. Like, why don't we rip him out of the White House? What are we doing? What are we doing, people? And Elon Musk is in there. Bill Gates is in there. Bill Clinton is in there. This guy I just threw up the other day on the WEF video, I think it's the same guy. He's in there. I'll put up a redaction if it's not. Or I'll just cut this bit out. But literally, the dude who we just put up on the World Economic Forum video, the one that was saying this world order that's been happening is changing. It's all going to change because shit ain't working anymore. That dude's in the Epstein files. He was Epstein's neighbor. He said the French prime minister. He said that they didn't ever hang out because the first time he met him, he said something gross in front of his wife. And then he shows up in the Epstein files. We can't believe any of them, We got to just take the information we have and treat them accordingly. And y'all are just going to let it slide. People are just going to let it be. And it can't just be, man. That can't be the world we allow ourselves to live in. Like, at what point do you set it all on fire and start over? Do we love our TV and our video games and our bullshit that much? Sex, drugs, rock and roll too important? Is the art so great? Is it so nice being a slave to the system? Are you so comfortable that you're willing to let this all slide? Apparently. Like, this is like the sole reason I started doing this, is because I wanted to bitch about this specific thing. Like, I wanted to talk about God. Of course. That's actually all I wanted to do, was connect it all to God. That's what me and Tommy keep talking about after every episode, is like, that's what we got to bring to the table, is that God is the solution to all of this. Really, there's no other solution. But like, I'm just mind blown, because where is our rebellion?
It's been properly, insufficiently
cowtailed.
Muted.
Yeah, it's been
muted.
It's been stopped way ahead of time. It's been already seen to in advance. They knew what people would they knew how people would respond, and they saw to it to psyop everybody, to invoke these responses early enough in such small ways, trickle it down a little bit at a time, to now when it's actually happening, nobody fucking cares, because we've all seen it before. There's been too many times where it shows up and gets shot down and nothing ever happens.
No.
And then when it does happen, it's too divisive. It's used to split people apart instead of bring us together. Like with the Harvey Weinstein thing. Like, one guy finally goes down, but it tears everybody apart because people want to hate on the Me Too movement, because the Me Too movement's corrupted. So, like, yeah, we need to all speak out in Me Too. Like, honestly, if you're a rational human being, you'll say, of course, speak out. Like, the things that, like, young women learned from the Me Too movement kind of was a good thing all in all. I would say there was a lot of fucking twisty shit going on there. But I don't really want to get into that. I don't want to have to explain myself on that one. Another episode, maybe. But definitely.
Poor Dave.
No,
Poor Dave.
I know. I just shot myself in the foot with that one. Definitely, if you ever have anything like this happen to you, say something. Do something. We're all here to support you in that matter. But what happened with Harvey Weinstein is he wasn't the only guy. You know, he wasn't the only wrongdoer, and all these people just came out about Harvey, and it became this psyop. And you know, that's what's just going to happen with every single instance of this, because nobody's willing to burn it all down.
Yeah, no, it's not going to happen like that, really. This is the world, dude. This is the world.
It's crazy because when you talk to people, that's their response. They're like, yeah, let's get them all out. Let's start over. All right, well, let's do it. Let's just do it. But nope, it's not happening.
You got to be willing to throw your whole life away, and most people aren't willing to do that.
Nobody is.
I don't know if we should have to throw our lives away for frickin' much. It sucks 1,000%. It's a freaking.
I mean, this is much.
Dark, terrible
This
thing.
is very much.
But we gotta just do what we're called to do. What we're called to do. And we're called to expose it and take part in our communities to help with,
like, how do you get
that comes up along the lines, make sure certain things don't happen within our own communities, and make it known that it's just not something that we are okay with. I mean,
how do you get young men to go to war for your cause? How do you inspire young men to fight for your cause? Because this is the most worthy cause to be going to war. But we're going to war for oil, we're going to war for gold, we're going to war for regime change, we're going to war for somebody else. But why don't we go to war for this? This is the most worthy thing to go to war for. People are willing to fight for other shit. People are signing up for the military every day. Sign up for this fucking fight. So I was wondering, I just wanted to spitball maybe a good question for the comments. You got the archetype of, you know, the three hags. Whenever there's a hag, there's never just one hag. You get a really old hag, you get a middle-aged hag, and then you get the young new hag. You know, that's the witch archetype. That's
the three fates.
Yeah,
it's
the,
like
three
the three
fates. Yeah. So we got Michelle Lamy, we got Marina Abramovich. Who do you, in the comments below, who do you think would be the third witch? I think
the third in line.
Tommy says
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga, which I was thinking at first too, but now as we talk this episode, what about Beyonce?
No.
Beyonce could be the third witch. She's got a very big hold. She's got a lot of power in the music industry.
She doesn't do anything creatively.
And she's got a lot more sway.
Boundaries.
She's got a lot more sway and power than Lady Gaga, I think. Lady Gaga definitely does push the boundaries as far as she made being trans popular. Lady Gaga is a symbol for these social justice warriors, these LGBTQ plus people, because she was one of the first ones to be like that rumor went around when we were kids that she had a dick, and she didn't deny it. Once the rumors got to her, she said, and they're like, what do you mean? Don't you care? And she's like, no, I don't care what people say about me. I don't care if they think I have a dick or a vagina, because I'm just a person and I am me and I was born this way. And everybody's like, yeah, Lady Gaga, we're all fucking queer like you. She fucking started it, bro. So if she didn't start it, she was a huge propagator. She was a huge supporter and influencer. People latched onto her. People identified with her.
Yeah.
Made it very cool to be queer.
She's got the American Horror Story shit, too. She's in a lot of the American Horror Story shows, and she serves that role. Yep. She is the witch. She is the, like, main antagonist shitty figure or whatever.
So, yeah, it very well could be. I think that's the most likely. But I thought Beyonce while we had this episode, so I just wanted to throw that out there too.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of
the internet
type of
thinks
mold.
Grimes, because they have connections as well. Thinks that
I don't even know who the hell Grimes is.
Grimes is
she's Elon Musk's fucking
yeah, but she's also a musician. She's also influential. I know she's not super popular. Nobody talks about her, but she's not as influential as Lady Gaga or Beyonce.
I feel like if you're gonna be in the same caliber as Marina Abramovich and the other one,
she was for a small second. I feel like she was for a very tiny window of time.
And you're going to have to be trend-setting. You're going to have to be moving boundaries. You're going to have to be kind of something new and lasting.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think Lady Gaga for sure is going to have that effect. She's got it kind of on lock. So much of the crazy art in her music, in the shows she's been on with American Horror Story, dude, the craziest satanic imagery imaginable. And as you said, she tapped into the youth with this the transgender thing and got a pretty much shouldered a movement through that, you know. And it's, I feel like for the young witch, that would be the kind of the because each one has their own kind of role.
And you think we're fucking crazy, but like look at what actually made Lady Gaga super popular. Like, yeah, we liked her music. Yeah, she said some provocative things. But what always drew attention to her was her clothes, was her fashion. She was always wearing the craziest shit, and she still does today.
The meat suit.
The meat suit. Like, she always wore the craziest shit, and that's what got the attention. And who's making those clothes? Fucking Marina Abramovich was making her clothes most of the time, if not some other pedo French fuck. Like,
yep. They were grooming her to be the
you see the signs, you see the connections.
Yeah. Yeah, Lady Gaga gets my vote.
All right, so
in that video too, we saw Marina Abramovich literally walking to that event with Lady Gaga in hand.
Yeah.
And Lady Gaga, freaking, the camera's pointing at her, and what does she do? She doesn't embrace it. She actually blocked her face from view.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. It's like, why are you doing that? You're going to a televised public event, and we got to see her face anyway. So that just makes it look even weirder. Like, why would you do that? Why?
She wasn't fully into the role yet. She was just automatically doing the paparazzi thing.
It's just weird. But that's wait, I do have one more thing with and this one's crazy. And then I'm cooking it. But so one more really wild connection to Marina Abramovich here that really hammers home this message that we've been talking about for the past 2 episodes of Hollyweird, the child trafficking and things of that nature, and kind of where it sits and the people that are connected to it. So she was also connected to the infamous John of God, cult leader from South America, and known child trafficker, who he was also hosted on the Oprah Winfrey show that she has now taken down since all of his evil acts were exposed. But he was a serial rapist, ran a baby farm where he kept women chained up in beds and forced them to bear children, where he then sold them to the black market. This is all public knowledge. Marina flew to Brazil, so it was based in Brazil. Marina flew to Brazil and did a documentary with John called The Space in Between. So she has a documentary, you can go watch it, The Space in Between, about his healing methods and spiritual practices. John of God, his claim to fame was healing. He had these weird healing rituals, weird spiritual stuff, and it was making ripples across the echelons. And he ends up on the Oprah Winfrey show.
They always do.
She talks to him, and it's a whole thing. And later on, come to find out, he ends up getting exposed for child trafficking. Child fucking trafficking. He had women chained to beds and forcing himself upon, like, you're not chained to a bed on your own accord, dog. You're chained to a bed and you're forced to pop kids out, and he's selling these kids to the black market. And we've got Oprah Winfrey, Marina Abramovich. I mean, dude, this guy was making his ripples.
Yeah.
You think that these people didn't have any idea? No idea whatsoever. No, none whatsoever. That this guy's a cult leader and that he's doing all this shit. That is what we're talking about here. Is that this trafficking and the connections in between? Really, all your heroes are fake. They're dead. They're not a real thing. They're ghosts. They're not to be idolized. There's only really one idol anybody should have. But, yeah.
No, we don't even.
Hollywood is dying, and thank goodness, thank God, Hollywood is dying. It is transforming though. So whatever comes to replace it, you got to know that intelligence agencies, military-industrial complex, politicians, and global elite are going to have their fingers in it, of course. Yeah. I think that the example that Hollywood has set for us and what we have been able to uncover over the span of, since its inception, really, has helped at least a select few, because there's a lot of people that are still asleep. The magic works really good on a bunch of people. But I think that it has allowed us to kind of see these things, and we are noticing them more and more as time goes on into the modern day. So we have kind of the ability to sniff these things out and draw attention to them. Hopefully we don't get shadow banned, which I already know we are. We're gonna be shadow banned to shit with these Hollyweird episodes, but whoever is looking will find them. It's just not going to get promoted like crazy. Hollywood is dying, and that is a beautiful thing.
So you brought up Oprah, and I remembered I had this video.
Also in worshiping the devil, participated in human sacrifice rituals and cannibalism. She says her family has been involved in rituals for generations. She is currently in extensive therapy, suffers from multiple personality disorder, meaning she's blocked out many of the terrifying and painful memories of her childhood. Meet Rachel, who is also in disguise to protect her identity. You come from generations.
So we actually already had Oprah with a Satanist on her show in the military. So here's another Satanist on Oprah. It's just a weird coincidence that, Oprah seems to be in these circles and she has these Satanists on all the time.
Sins of ritualistic abuse?
Yes, my family has an extensive family tree, and they keep track of who's been involved and who hasn't been involved. And it's gone back to, 1700.
And so you were...
Right. I was born into a family that believes in this.
And does everyone else think it's a nice Jewish family? From the outside, you appear to be a nice Jewish girl?
Definitely.
And you all are worshiping the devil inside the home?
Right. There's other Jewish families across the country. It's not just my own family.
Really?
So what she's alluding to is that they are connecting with each other. Like, you have these... Like, it's not all the Jewish families. Clearly, that's not what she's saying. She's saying some of them are worshiping Satan. And they connect with each other. They know about each other because they got to deal with each other to be able to get these sort of things done.
And so who knows about it? Lots of people now.
I talked to a police detective in the Chicago area.
Hear how they laugh about it? That's insane.
Of my friends know, and I've spoken
laugh track,
before.
Freaking audience shit.
And
so when you were brought up in this kind of evilness, did you just think it was normal?
I've blocked out a lot of the memories I had because of my multiple personality disorder. But yes, I mean, it's like if you grow up with something, you think it's normal.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought.
So what kinds of things? You don't have to give us the gory details, but what kinds of things went on in the family?
Well, there would be rituals in which babies would be sacrificed, and you would have to,
Whose babies?
There were people who bred babies in our family.
She said people that bred babies. So they would have children or have children brought in specifically for these rituals, for these sacrifices. And this is the same exact thing that you hear from the children that came from the finders cults.
Yep.
No one would know about it. A lot of people were overweight, so you couldn't tell if they were pregnant or not. Or they would supposedly go away for a while and then come back. The other thing I want to point out, not all Jewish people sacrifice babies. I mean,
no.
That's not a very
typical thing.
No.
This is the first time I heard of any Jewish people sacrificing babies. But anyway, so you witnessed the sacrifice?
Right. When I was very young, I was forced to participate in that, in which I had to sacrifice an infant.
And the purpose of sacrifice is to what? Is to bring you what? What are you sacrificing for?
For power.
Uh-huh.
For power.
Power. And so, were you ever used?
She is not. You can tell that she's.
I was molested. I was raped.
She's remorseful
several times.
about all of it. She's coming out about it.
Doing?
So this upload is 9 years old. I don't know when the original video was posted. It looks older than that.
Clearly the 90s or early 2000s.
All of my memories, but her family was extremely involved.
I remember my mom having the same hairstyle and glasses.
Both of my parents brought me to it.
And where is she now?
She's lives in the Chicago metropolitan area. She's on the Human Relations Commission of the town that she lives in, and she's an upstanding citizen.
Early 90s.
Nobody would suspect her.
Were you raised with a sense of right and wrong, Rachel?
Yes. I mean,
Wikipedia, the Satanic Panic is a moral panic consisting of over 12,000 unsubstantiated cases of satanic ritual abuse, sometimes known as ritual abuse, starting in North America in the 1980s, spreading throughout many parts of the world in the late 1990s, and persisting up until the 2000s. Is that what I was gonna say? I'm hoping. And persisting today. So we got AI, Wikipedia bullshit trying to claim that this is just satanic panic, that this isn't actually real. So, and it would do the same thing for those videos about the kids talking about the Finders cult. Be very clear, be very aware of what's going on. Satanic panic was a thing. You had things like Kiss and Dungeons and Dragons and, you know, Judas Priest, which, like, Judas Priest is fucking evil. Go listen to Judas Priest. Like, fucking, what are we talking about?
There was a major concerted effort during that time to bring certain pieces of media and certain culture changing tools into the public.
Yeah.
That
and people were more aligned with God back then. People had morals. People had belief in God and Jesus and knew what it meant. And so when they start introducing all this satanic music, all these satanic games, all these satanic things that the kids are getting into, they see the younger generation, they start labeling it what it is. The media calls it satanic panic. Everybody's just freaking out. It's all a bunch of hoopla. Don't worry about it. It's not really evil. They had to push articles. It's like, don't worry about these things. They're not really evil.
Yep.
When really everybody knew that they were.
We are living in a post-satanic panic era where we now see Satan everywhere. So I'm just trying to say, labeling something satanic panic, I mean, look at the fruit that era bared. Look where we're at today. And Satan's more alive than he's ever been in the public and in the world.
It says, in 1999, an anonymous source secretly filmed Angelina Jolie talking to two close friends. It says video has resurfaced recently. In the video, Angelina Jolie, 22 at the time, 23 at the time, describes the ritual she performed earlier that year to join the Order of the Illuminati. So, like, I never actually believed there was an actual, like, Illuminati. And she probably was told she's getting into the Illuminati. And it was, like, just some other sort of thing. Some satanic shit. The identity of Angelina Jolie's friends have been redacted.
It's like I would film things like that. I would encourage like everybody, all different types of sexual. But there is that thing where it's like a lot of people misunderstand me with S&M and they think it's super. And I have to like explain to people how, like, where it's more like you're tied down because you need to like be able to like have somebody hold you down and keep you still, or like keep you fight something down, or like.
Angelina is heard describing the gruesome ritual celebrities perform to join the Illuminati and claims it's not the same as S&M, which is consensual sexual torture, although it's often compared to it. So the rituals are reflecting S&M. So like we were talking about Rick Owens or his boyfriend or his ex-boyfriend, his type of art, like that S&M stuff is very similar to these satanic rituals because they're the same fucking thing. They do the same thing. So then they popularize it in your porn. They get it real popular amongst the young people because then they put it in all the porn and now everybody's doing S&M satanic shit in their own bedroom. Think about that the next time you're practicing one of your kinks. During the Illuminati ritual, you are indeed tied up, sodomized, and tortured by other members. Pain is often intense. Many participants quit midway through. Get back to it. We also hear how she's been encouraging other celebrities to perform the ritual as well.
The heel once you're beaten under or something. It's like it comes from that real place of like, you know, as opposed to being accessories or something like.
want to hear her.
It's like I've always gotten them. There's like that time where he's like, "Oh, I have tattoos," and after a while, you're like, you can explain them and they can mean something. It's just comes from that real place.
You can't really hear her, so it's like
I know.
it's a context-driven
it's a bad
video
quality
because
video.
it's hard to understand her.
Right. Well, basically, she's saying that like these rituals are like S&M, and she's explaining to other people and her friends right now, and she's telling her friends that she had to explain to other people that there's a difference, that there's this essence of being tied down and relinquishing that power of yourself and allowing people to do whatever. Exactly like Michelle Lamy, Marina Abramovich with her zero 0 degree, whatever.
0 something. Rhythm zero.
Like, allow people to do whatever to you. It's a ritual thing. You can't trust any of the celebrities.
Nope.
I think we've shown enough. I think we've proved our point enough. I don't know how else to find other sources or other celebrities. Like, it's exhausting to try to look through and see who's done what and who's had what connection, and every time you think you figured it all out, there's more celebrities. So, like, I guess just no more celebrities, right? No more celebrities. Let's just say no. Unless the content's like directly about God. I don't understand. I don't know what else to do. But let's start looking at let's say no, like that's the easiest solution. No more celebrities. Let's just stop giving them our attention and veneration. That cleans up the music industry. That cleans up Hollywood, because they get no more power if they get no more money and attention. And then we turn all of our focus to the politicians, because they're the ones that are getting away with everything because they don't have anybody's attention, really. And so we put all of our attention on the politicians, make them do exactly what we need them to do. And then maybe we could have a chance at a world that's worth living in. But until that day, go with God, because that's the only other solution. It doesn't seem like anything's ever going to change. Like I said, no one's ready to revolt. Nobody's willing to put their lives on the line. We're just going to keep going along with it like cattle. They've sufficiently and effectively neutered and cowtailed any sort of rebellion at all, any sort of thought of freedom. So know that Jesus is coming back. Jesus sets you free. God is the way, the truth, and the light. And there is no other way. You can, if you look deep enough anywhere, this seems to be the case within everything.
Dave is it's almost like you just found this shit out.
No, I just get so actually mad about it every time.
Yeah,
I can't not be mad about it.
Yeah.
It's like you just found this shit out. Does it really come across like that? I hope it's not coming across like that.
It's like a lot of rage.
Yeah.
And then like the emotion of it coming off heavy.
'Cause it's like everything else,
and it's already heavy, so I mean, like, it's not like it's unfounded.
I could concede to everything else. Like I'm almost willing to go to fucking Russia over it, because I'm willing to live under a dictatorial government if it means everybody's not fucking kids, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's worth that to me. I'm willing to not be free if it means children and women are not getting abused. That's worth my freedom. That's what I'm saying. It's worth my life. There's no other cause that's worth anything else. Freedom is not better than all of our women and children getting abused. That's not okay. Rather not be free.
Yeah.
It's crazy to say, you know, but
I don't think that it works like that, though, you know?
Yeah,
you're just so worked up.
No, I know it's not like that, because it's still happening in Russia and it's still happening in China. Like, these people, and
it's not all women and children. Like, it's
yeah.
There's a portion where this is happening, and that's where we got to kind of figure out what to do with it. You know, like it's also not the whole society. It's just like, yeah, up in this power structure, and the power structure is shifting and crumbling at the same time, and there's stuff happening, and God is a factor. God is a factor in all of this. Like, there's at the end of the age, it's all game over anyway. All the shit gets answered for. It does get judged, and transmuted, and the things happen. They do happen, and we just live it. Like, the bringing awareness to it, what you hope is that with enough eyes and enough like accurate attention on the thing, that it can cause the changes in the world. And it will. It's just, we gotta be careful inciting too much fucking violence or like fucking crazy shit with it. Because that's just enough to get you fucking
I use
banned.
tar and feather figuratively. Like,
Yeah,
I hope
yeah.
that comes across, that like when I say tar and feather these people, I don't mean actually drag them out of their house and tar and feather them.
David's saying, "Rise up."
No, I really do mean shame. Like, the tar and feather equates to the shame. Like, we need to constantly just be shaming these people.
Yeah.
And like, again, not like Cersei from Game of Thrones, like, but almost like as much as we legally could, you know, as much as we respectfully could as human beings.
I think there is more of a thing happening with it too. I do see a lot more of it where you've got a bunch of guys going out there and fucking doing that.
Well, it happened in another country,
like making channels,
and that's why I'm saying
shit.
it, is because I saw a video of another country took one of their politicians and tarred and feathered him and drug him through the streets, drug him through the mud. They didn't tar and feather him; they just drug him through the mud, something like that.
Yeah,
but
the
I'm
United
like, dude,
States
like, where is that energy?
Fucking beast.
Yeah,
it's just a
and
dude,
and to your point, it's like Satan is so prolific through the whole world that you're not actually going to change it, because that is the story that's written. God has planned it this way. Jesus will come back and set it right. So like, we are kind of set to live in it. And so the challenge is not actually to go fight it unless you're called to fight it. The challenge is to live in the Lord in that evil world.
In the face of it, yes.
Yeah, in the face of the evil, you live in the Lord
stand
every
for
day.
it. That doesn't mean... Yeah, it's like, once you know about this shit, because that's the thing, is it does elicit the response of anger, and it does elicit the response of, we need to do something, but that shit gets used too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you go out there just fucking guns blazing, you're now a terrorist, they win.
Yeah.
Period.
Yep.
They win. You don't win from that, ever. So it's like, what do you do? What do you do? You have to take a measured approach where it's like, you don't stand for it. You don't stand for it, you don't allow it, you don't tolerate it in your life. And whatever you can do, you do. You know, if you feel called to go like help disadvantaged children, there's places you can go, or you can start your own organization and get donations and freaking go help people. You can do those things. Those things exist. There's avenues. And yes, there are corrupted ones, but I mean, if you feel that way, you can start them. You know, like, there are ways. But also, it's, as you said, like, dude, there's so much in the world, like, to stop it all is, like, impossible.
Yeah.
But, like, you don't have to stand for it. But what you have to do is you have to, in the face of all of the darkness, instead of letting it consume you and fuck you and turn you sour,
you have to do what God says.
You have to be able, yes.
You have to have kids. You have to enjoy the world. You have to enjoy it. You have to have fun. You have to prosper and have children, proliferate, and have dominion over the world. Like, you got to do that in the faith
the whole
of others.
nine.
Yeah, and my thing that I'll keep saying is, make sure you instill that in your children. Make sure your children keep up with it, because when your children become slaves to it or propagators of it, then that just means you fucked up too. It's going to fall back on you eternally.
Yep. So it's that's where it can end up getting,
or it
kind of rounded up, full circled, and everything. to where it makes a little bit more sense, and it's because it's fucking rough. It's rough shit, dude. That's why this topic is fucking, it's radioactive too. It just is. It's a radioactive, dark fucking topic. And there's like a reason it gets delegated to shit like BitChute. Who the fuck uses BitChute? But that's the only place you can find full videos like that.
Right.
It's not just because fucking people are trying to cover it up. It's because people don't want to fucking look at it.
Right.
Because it elicits that response, and it stops them from being able to do the other things that they're trying to do, and you can't have just like you can't dismiss everybody that, oh, you don't want to know about it and you're scared chicken shit and what. It's like they could just be fucking focusing on what they're called to do, and like that shit takes them out of that, and it actually fucks them. You know, like
my
not everybody's supposed to fight
is
that
like
way.
My wife and my sister. My wife and my sister, they'll let all the news go in one ear and out the other, right over their head. Sometimes they don't comprehend or even understand what's going on. And I'm like, what do you mean? How do you not know? How are you not hearing about this? What do you got your head in the fucking dirt? But really, like you said, it's not what they're called to do. They're raising these children, and they're raising them right. They're raising them for the Lord, you know? They're doing a good job. So, like, it's not their duty. I would just say that, like, you got to make sure the kids are getting a little bit of that good information to the point where they're going to make the right decisions going forward with the Lord. Yeah. That's all that matters.
There's like a thing to be said with, like, you want people to be able to see reality, and like that's the thing with the Hollywood thing is that's all illusion. It's an illusion of importance. It's an illusion of power, and it's an illusion by nature. Hollywood, it's all fake shit on TV. It's not real shit, you know. That's like the whole scheme of it. It's like built in, but there's a reality behind it, you know, and a lot of people get lost in that illusion. So it's like you want to try to like bring that reality to a population of people that clearly are fooled by the illusion, and there is something to be said about that. And like, you put the information out there, you make your honest efforts with it, you let people know whatever evidence is out there, whatever you know, whatever even your inklings, your opinions about certain things. This is America. We're allowed to do that shit. Mm-hmm. It's like, but it's definitely, it's at the end of the day not going to end up being a thing that everybody's into or everybody feels called for. But I think it is something that everybody would get angry about, you know, like if they did know the true depth of it and how prolific it is, right? How expansive it is, how deep that fucking rabbit hole goes.
It's like we need to scarlet letter these motherfuckers. Like, you gotta just wear.
I think that's happening. I do. I see it happening. There's more people nowadays, like just random dudes that you'll talk to that like know. They just know.
Well, like, nobody was willing to go through the Epstein files in the beginning. You know, nobody actually wanted to see, even though they should have. Like, nobody was willing to look at the flight logs. All you had to do, like, all that came out at the beginning was the flight logs. You just look at the flight logs and say, all right, fuck all of these people. And people are like, oh, well, the flight logs aren't necessarily incriminating. Sometimes people would just go out there for these parties, and you don't know what's going on. You're just going out for a party. No, everybody knew what was going on. You know who Jeffrey Epstein is if you're going to Jeffrey Epstein's. You know? You know what's going on. So, like, fuck everybody on that flight log. And I forget where I was going with this, but, like, that's all you need right there.
Yeah, that's...
Why do we need more proof than that?
I think that a lot of the people will automatically feel that. There's a lot of people that are literally already doing... Like, me and you, dude, we don't even fucking watch that shit, dude. Right. You know, like Hollywood shit, or even fucking, like, certain politics shit. We don't even put in that energy to those fuckers.
I remember where I was going with that, but you need to, like, that's why they need the scarlet letter thing, is because not everybody is willing to know or care or look into it or do the research. They should be able to tell at a glance that, like, oh,
Yeah.
Everybody's got a problem with the Epstein shit, so this person was an Epstein person. Everybody's curious about the fucking 4chan Pizzagate bullshit. Well, these are the people involved in that.
They're all making a concerted effort to, I mean, if you look at it, it's all organized, it's all very satanic, and there's a reason. There's a reason for it. It's because the kingdom of God is a real thing.
It exists.
Jesus Christ came and died for our sins, and he wants to make and they want to make a mockery of that. They want to make anybody who believes that, they want you to think that Christianity is boring and Satanism is totally acceptable, but we don't talk about that Jesus guy because he's offensive, but you can talk about Satan all day long. There's an effort, there's a war.
I know, like, even if none of it's real, God is way cooler than the devil, you know? Like, who the fuck ever decided the demons and the devils were the cool ones? Dude, God and the angels are the cool ones. It's fucking insane.
I think that the script has just been so thoroughly turned upside down and written backwards.
Yeah. The movies are boring. All the movies are fake and gay and lame. Yeah, real life is what's interesting. Like, everything's that. Oh, I forget who said it, but it's like they'd be able to show you hell and have you perceive it as heaven, and that's what they've done. They're showing everybody hell, and they've tricked you all into thinking it's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, they want everybody thinking that that their lust and their excess and their habits that are chains. They are trying to tell you that those are awesome. Yeah. And they're trying to build a world around you that is going to give you everything that your beast inside of you wants.
Yep.
And
it's all about you. Do what you want.
Everybody's going to be happy, and it's not going to bring about happiness. It's going to bring about the totality of what it means to live in a prison. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people living in prisons in this current moment. A lot of and they're not behind bars. They've just got chains of attachments and addictions.
Yeah,
and
everybody's got something.
Habits that are. It's what it is. We live in a world. It's like referenced in the Bible. They call it the world. You're like of the world.
Yeah.
The world is run by a principality of darkness, aka Satan. Yeah. It's given to him. It is. God gave it to him. He has the scroll of it, but the deed is coming due. And that is in Revelation.
This is why you don't get into heaven by works alone. Because you can't do enough work to absolve the sin, and you can't avoid the sin. Even the best person on the planet is going to get sucked up into something. Like Tommy said, even if it's just a vape, even if it's just the wrong food, even if it's celebrating the wrong holiday. Maybe you told a white lie once, like maybe you stole a piece of candy when you were a kid. Like, no matter what, you're guilty of sin at some point, somewhere, somehow, and probably more than you think you would, right? So, like, none of us are deserving of it. Like, we're all at equal levels with these fuckers, actually. Like, really, sin, the wages of sin are death. So, we all should be dead, you know, in the eyes of God. But Jesus came.
We're all in the process of dying.
Yeah, we are.
That's the thing. We are all worthy of it, and that's why Christ came and did what he did.
Yeah,
that is why that happened. Like, there's this perception, I think, that has to get kind of there's this. During the satanic panic and everything, there was a flop that happened, and I think it was a flop in the understanding of this narrative. This people think that rock and roll, the sin, they think that's awesome, and they get this like down feeling when they think about having to give up their sins and try to live a life that's closer with God, and it's like some type of like downer, and it's also like there's a lot of like shame involved now. There's a lot of like guilt in Christianity, and I've been seeing it in a bunch of different places. Like going online, you just hear people freaking talking like that. That's like, why would you want to follow something like that? It's like, no, that's not the way we're supposed to be thinking about these things. It's not at all.
If you have this revelation only just today, and now you feel like, oh gosh, now I have to make all these changes, or else I'm fucked, or it's not true, or I guess I am fucked because I've been doing this all along. No, it's not true. You're worthy of redemption. You can be redeemed. Yes. You repent and you fucking try to change the thing. And even if you fail to change the thing, that doesn't even mean that you're damned to hell. Like, there's always more and more chances. God is so forgiving. There's always more chances to redeem your soul. For you to learn and grow. Because God just wants to be with you. He loves you. He loves us all.
That's the message that needs to be propagated, not everybody sins. Yeah, we all sin, dude. There's there's really no way to stop it. It's what separates.
Don't let what we're saying right here now, though, be an excuse to allow what's going on.
No,
we can't. 100%. We can't allow it.
I think it's more like a calling thing. You got to do what you feel called by the Holy Spirit and by God to do. If you feel called to do something,
I'm calling people.
In the world,
I feel called to call people. So I'm calling people to get riled up about this. Let's care a little bit fucking more. I'm not saying actually go and do anything like I said, like tar and feather anybody. That's not what I'm saying. Let's just be more upset. Let's all write more letters. Let's all protest more. Let's all boycott more. Let's all do more. Because apparently we're not doing enough. I don't know what else to do. We just gotta do more.
It's like a due diligence thing. Just whatever, just do what you can do. Do what you can do and make goals for improving and eliminating the sin out of your life and
try to be
the world better in your way that you can.
Try to be as least complacent as you can be.
Yeah, the complacency shit is definitely where it gets rough. So you gotta make moves. You gotta make moves and do things.
Right. Well, we're gonna wrap her there. I want to thank everybody for hanging out through this long one. I've been people telling me they're falling asleep to our episodes, but we like the long format. We like to get deep into it. So thank y'all for bearing with us and listening. Definitely make sure to share us around. That's our biggest need right now. You can you can follow, you can subscribe, you can comment. All that stuff helps out, of course. But please share us around. We definitely need the shares. We are a little bit behind. We are recording, and we're kind of like a month behind on uploading. So sometimes these topics are a little bit behind, but we're building a good foundation for this channel for the future. And as we get better at doing what we're doing, things will come out at a more rapid pace or more relevant period of time when they're actually relevant to what's going on. So, we apologize that we're a little bit behind on the news. I notice, as I'm watching shows that are coming out, I'm like, oh, there's already more news that basically just wipes out what we said or makes what we just said kind of irrelevant because now there's new shit going on. Like we were talking about them possibly invading Venezuela after they had already invaded Venezuela. And it's like, all right, so sometimes we're going to be a little bit behind or a little bit off the mark when we're making predictions and shit. But bear with us because it's building a foundation for what we are trying to build here, for what we're trying to make. And we'll get better. We'll get quicker. We'll be coming at you more live and more places. Right now we're only Facebook, YouTube, a little bit, we're at Spotify, YouTube, a little bit of Facebook, very little bit of Twitter. You can always reach us by email. But we want to get on all the platforms, be more prolific. But that's all stuff to come. Thanks for watching. We friggin' love ya. We'll see you next time.
Fight the darkness!